Happy Flosstube Friday, friends. My name is Kari. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube episode 129. Yay! Welcome, friends. Happy 4th of July to you. Happy Patriotic Stitching Extravaganza Day. Yes, that is what I've got for you today. It is going to be jam-packed full of fun. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My channel is about cross-stitching and quilting and knitting and just generally making of all the fun. Oh my, I hope you stick around. And if it's something you enjoy, I would love for you to be part of the Tiger Lily family by subscribing to the channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. Buckle in, folks. We're going to dive right into the fun. As I love to do, we're going to run through the table of contents just to let you know what's in store for today's episode. I do have a stitchy finish. It was the thumbnail for the video, so spoiler surprise, I've got a finish on a whip that's been around for almost a year and a half. So I'm pretty excited to share that with you. I also went and I got my Patriotic finishes from years past to share with you. I think it'd be super fun for you guys to just see some of the older stitching, maybe be inspired from something that you haven't seen or that's in your whip pile that you want to go and pull out, as well as I went and I have my Patriotic stitching charts to share with you. We'll talk about it more when we get to it. The other things I have for you are some stitchy kindness, some yarn haul. Yes, that came in this week. A little bit of fun, as well as I finished a fun new bag. Now, if you're a part of my Patreon, you saw that I love to spoil things a little early for my Patreon members, but if you haven't seen it yet, it's going to be so exciting and I can't wait to share it with you. So without further ado, friends, let's dive in. We're just going to start off with the grand finale because, you know, that's how we roll here, friends. And she's done. This is the American Sampler by Plum Street Samplers. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that she has been an ongoing whip since November of 2023. So going on a year and a half plus, this beauty has been in my stash. Now, she's 189 by 227, so she is not a small chart. Charted, obviously, Plum Street. I stitched mine on, let me pull my tracker card out for you. I stitched mine on 36 count Lakeside Vintage Exemplar, but I did a full Belle Soie conversion. So if you look at this chart, yes, the chart just makes it look dark, but even in person, when I went and I pulled the called for colors, which are mostly Gentle Arts, a couple classic color works, it was very, very dark, which is just not, I'm a very colorful person. And so I just wanted to, as I do with a lot of charts, I just brighten them up a little bit. So I have a Belle Soie conversion. I don't have it handy. I have it linked on my Instagram half a dozen times. Like I said, she's been around for a while, but it's a full Belle Soie conversion that I love. And I love so much how it finished out. Now, you know that I've been working on this kind of monogamously since StitchCon for about a month because I had the goal of having her finished, having her be the grand finale for today's video. And I'm so excited that she is. So let me just show you, she is stitched, ready to go. I am going to order a custom size frame from Arts to Frame. That's my favorite. I love to thrift a frame and pull up my miter saw and do all the things. But this beauty, the work that went into it, she deserves for me to just splurge a little bit and get a custom made frame from Art to Frame. What I'm probably going to do is try to find one that's more like this barnwoody gray color. I think that's just going to make her pop a little bit. I mean, it would be great for red, but I worry about red and red frames ordering online. I feel like gray is going to be a little bit more forgiving if it doesn't match exactly. That's probably what we're going to go with. So anyway, she is fully finished. I didn't change anything else but the colors of all the floss. But I just love how she turned out. And like I said, it was just, I just brightened everything up, as well as the bricks, just to let you know, just a little inside of how I did things. The bricks were charted by Paulette being in either 2 or 3 reds, and you had to like follow the chart. I didn't do that. I kind of just pulled a floss. This is 2 different colors. It's like Berry Cobbler and Red Fox. I work with them for a while. They remember. But I would just pick a color and then, fill in some blocks. I kind of set the mortar for the house first, and then it was just fill in party for days. And so that's how I did that. And the same with the green. The green, it was supposed to just be one solid green, which would look gorgeous, but I wanted a little bit of movement, a little bit of variegation in my grass. It looks a little more stripy on the screen than it actually does in person, but it's 3 different shades of green that just give you that fun, nature isn't a solid color. And so I love variegated, and those hand-dyed silks are gorgeous. And we talked about before, I did not want to give her a brown dress. She started to have the trunk of this tree brown dress. I did not give her that. I gave her the darkest red. So it wasn't like, a screaming red dress, but it was the darkest of the red bricks is what I went ahead and stitched her dress in instead of the tree trunk brown. But everything else is called for, or as charted, I should say, but I used all my different colors. But she is done, and I love her so much, and I can't wait for her to hang. She will hang in my house year round. I have Teresa Kogut's Land That I Love. It hangs in Patrick's office, and so I'll have to see if there's a wall that I can get. And then we have this like wooden barnwood flag that my neighbor made in Percival, so it's kind of like our patriotic room. So it's year round, but it's really, really fun. And so this will definitely hang up year round, but I just love how it turned out. Again, 36 count, 1 strand over 2, Lakeside vintage exemplar. I kind of just want her to sit here and stay with us for a while, but it was sad to be done with her. Like I said, she's been around for a while, but it feels so good. These big finishes, these are fun. These are fun. I love a good small finish. Don't get me wrong, but actually working through a big finish is quite fun. So that is the finish I have on the American Sampler. We're just going to stay patriotic for a little bit in the stitching fun before I switch gears and show you. I did whip for a couple other days because I finished her earlier in the week. So but when I switched gears finally from my monogamous American Sampler stitching, I went straight into Christmas and July stitching. Yeah. So we're going to stay patriotic for a little bit. So what I went and I grabbed, I kind of like deconstructed it. When you walk in my house, I have this antique oak chest. There's a piece of furniture in the foyer of my house. That's where I kind of change seasonal decorations. I'm not a huge seasonal decorator in that it takes over my house. Christmas takes over my house. Don't get me wrong. But all the other seasons, I kind of just change this one table as like a, in case you're wondering what season it is, just look on the table. Is it Halloween? Is it patriotic? Is it spring? Those are my 3 seasons. Anyway, so I went and I deconstructed that front entryway just so I could bring it back and show you guys some of the things that are there. What is the foundation for said vignette is my Patriotic table runner. This was a Quilt With Me table runner that I did, was it 2 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago. It was just a pattern I did. This is a video series on YouTube here. It was a free Quilt With Me table runner. It was kind of like if you've ever wanted to quilt, let's quilt it together. So I will link that series down below. I did mine patriotic. You could do whatever you wanted. But this is the foundation. This is the base layer for my vignette, right? And then you start building around. I have some other accoutrement. I didn't bring you the other decors. I just brought the stitching to share. So one girl that sits up, she's got her cute little easel, is my Sue Bonnet, my Patriotic Sue Bonnet. Yes, I know it's Sunbonnet Sue, but I call her Sue Bonnet. This is a free Tiger Lily chart. I will link it down below where you can go and grab said Sue Bonnet. So that's a fun little patriotic stitch. Now we're going to test my memory to see if I can remember all these things. They've been around for a while, some of them. Like this one's got a 2022. This is how I finished the back of mine. I always put my Tiger Lily tag on it. And then I put one of those gourd pins and a year. So, you know, at some point they'll be very vintage. This is from 2022. This is George. It's George and Martha Mount Vernon and patriotic colors stitched on Ada. 16 count. My guess is it's called for. Back in the day, I was not as adventurous in the changing the colors. So I'm sure this screams Paulette. So I'm pretty sure this is the Paulette. And then you have a Rick Rack tutorial. I do all my pillows basically the same. They're not all the same, but I love these ones all. It's just a Rick Rack little trim, super simple, and gourd pin. So there's that one. And then this one, this was a finish from a year or two ago. This is from the Blackbird Sweet Land of Liberty book, I think. We'll look at it. I think it's still in my charts. But I added a red, white, and blue button along the edge just because I felt like that empty space needed a little something. So that was fun just to add from my vintage buttons. I love pulling. My back fabric is either going to be quilt fabric. I've got a little bit of it. Or this is one that I love to just something for you to think about. This is an upcycled flannel shirt, which is why I'm touching like this. It's got that texture. And I always, like I said, I have a tutorial and it shows you how I finished. I'm going to show you close up. There's my seam. You can barely see it, but that's how I finished those with the Rick Rack. Easy peasy. This doesn't have a year gourd pin, so I'm not sure what year that was finished. This doesn't have a label either, but this is the hen pack. This is another Plum Street, again, with the flannel back. So cute. All of these are on Ada so far. And then this one, I love this one. I remember this one, stitching this one. This one's super vintage, I do believe. This is from Punch Needle and Primitive magazine. This came from their magazine. And it's that Madame Butterfly, no. Pickles. Yep, I can't remember. I'm blanking. Maybe it will come to me. It's from Punch Needle and Primitive magazines. I'm sure it's released now because it's been out for years and years. This I did, definitely did a different called conversion. Like, I know this is Mo's Silk. This was back in my Mo's Silk days phase, or I was getting the hand-dyed silk from Mo's Silk. So a lot of these colors I know aren't called for. They're just Mo's Silk. So like the blue is definitely for the variegation. And again, just the flannel shirt back. And then last but not least is this sweet little flag, quilty flag. This was a freebie from Plum Street. Now, where I got it, couldn't tell you how to get it. I wish I could, but I love it. It's super sweet. It's a little quilty star flag thing. So those are my current. They're keeping in my vignette in the front of the house. I do have a couple whips that I was hoping to get finished this season. And because I actually had all my finishing supplies ready, my sweet friend Jen Nesca gave me these super sweet, Just Another Button Company pins. I will link them down below if I can, but those just be super fun in a finish. And then I wanted to show you guys, these are my favorite. Like I said, I'm a Rick Rack girl when I finish my pillows. And I love, first of all, the Lori Holt Rick Rack comes on these wooden spools. So double fun, right? You get a wooden spool to use later. It's 12 yards of Rick Rack. It is crazy bonkers. Love the presentation, love everything about it. I will link it down below. You can get it at Fat Quarter Shop. And I wanted to just show you the 3 different colors that I had ready in hopes that I was going to finish Nelson, Blueskin, George and his horse. I was stitching it. It's ginormous though. It's on 32 count. I didn't bring it. So I kind of wasn't really feeling it, but I wanted to show you those colors just because it's always fun to see another perspective. So this is the denim color. It's a beautiful, beautiful denim-y blue. Now you're like, Kari, those are the same. They are not the same. So that is why I'm showing them to you, just in case you're in the market for red for either Patriotic and or Christmas, right? So this is, like I said, it's vintage Lori Holt trim. It's the large size, which is the 3/8. The smaller one I think is 1/4. So this is the 3/8 size that's called the large. And then these are 2 different colors. One is Riley Red, made by Riley Blake. And the other one is Schoolhouse. Now, I don't know if on camera you're going to be able to tell the difference, but you can totally tell the difference in colors. And I just want you to be able to see, because sometimes when you're shopping on a computer, you're like, red is red is red. Well, it's not. So I just want to, just for your reference, this is Schoolhouse. It is a more blue red, red, blue red. Do you see? Can you see the slight enough that this is more like a tomatoey orange red? It's slight, right? But as a color person, I just wanted to show it to you because I had it pulled out. It was fun. So Riley red, yes. Riley red is a more tomatoey orangey. It's not orange. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely red, but leans that way tone wise. Or the Schoolhouse red is more, I mean, Schoolhouse, that's a good description, but it's a blue red. It's a red, blue red. Anyway, that's fun. So those are the finishes I have done. Now let me show you some other fun. Just a few more minutes in the world of Patriotic, and then we'll zig and zag to look at some other stitchy fun that has come in this week or that I worked on or all the things. But like I promised, we're going to dive into my Patriotic box. Now, if you don't know, over there on this side of the room, I have a shelf. It's one of these Billy bookcases, and it has a whole shelf, a whole row of these things. These were Target. I will link it down below if I can get it, but I've had them for a couple of years. But they're just like magazine holders from Target. Nice pleather, whatever. But I have them labeled, and this is where I keep my charts. So this is how I keep my charts. They're kind of segmented. Some buckets are overflowing, aka the sampler bucket and the Christmas bucket. Both don't fit in the box, but the Patriotic one does. So I thought it'd be real fun just to real quick run through these in case I'm going to show you something you haven't seen before. If you're in the mood for Patriotic and you're just want to be inspired by something. I always see something new. Whenever I'm watching Flosstube, I'm like, oh my gosh, how have I not seen that before? And it's probably been out for years. So we're just going to run through them real quick, like rapid fire. Okay, friends? Okay. So I'm not going to take them out of the plastic because that's going to add to the time. So we're just going to go rapid fire. Okay, so this is a Sweet Stacy Nash. It doesn't scream patriotic, but it's patriotic enough. It's called Big Blue House Pin Keep Drum. Now, you can see this is the top, and then on the back, you can kind of see it has a little goes around drum, but I just love the patriotic bunting at the top, so that's super sweet. Okay, so Plum Street. Plum Street has two other series. This is the, see if I can get the glare off. This one's called A New Constellation. I love that. And then this is the matching one. This is the Equality Sampler. So sweet. Again, Plum Street. The problem with those is they're over one heavy. And I'm not a super fan of over one. So this is Nelson. So the other one's called Blueskin. Don't have it, but it's in my whip pile. So it's George and his horse. So sweet. This is a pillow, but it's 121 by 124. So that's a ginormous pillow. Sweet little Liberty Penny. That's adorable. I don't know why I just don't stitch that up real quick like. This one is so fun. This is old, not old, but it's been around for a while. This is from Liz, hello from Liz Matthews. This is the Birdie's Quilt Tree. First of all, I love a Cardinal. I love the red, white, and blue. How great. There's some beautiful blue fabrics out on the market right now. This would be so cute. And it's just a different shape to add to your little, oop, that's gonna fall down. To add your little patriotic vignette. Like I really wanna do that one just because, oop, this is a freebie. Can't show you that because it's just the chart. But you know, just to have a little, everything doesn't have to be a rectangle or a square. I love different shapes and sizes. So this is a Plum Street pillow called Bless Our Land. So sweet. It measures 74 by 74. So that truly is a pillow, tiny. Land of the Free. I'm pretty sure this was a freebie that came with a thread pack from Little House Needleworks a while ago. So you may not be able to get this, but it's super sweet. Threadwork Primitives, happy 4th. So on brand. I love that. I love adding the little fabric on the side just for some variety in the shape. Flag Folk. This is a good one. I need to get, this one is big, bigger than you think it should be. Hold on. 15 by 15, 36 count. 153 by 162. I don't know. I look at that and I think sweet little pin pillow. 153 by 162 is not a little sweet pin pillow. So just beware. This one is an oldie. This is Needle Bling Designs called Welcome. So sweet. F is for flag. A hands-on design flag mattress finish pillow. Never done that. Obviously, I haven't done any of these. If they're in my chart, once I stitch something, it goes into a different file organization. So I haven't stitched any of these. Stars and Stripes Forever. This is a very, look at that flag. This one measures, hold on. I have the wrong glasses on to read this. Don't know. It's not written on the back, and I'm not going to open it. It looks big. Model stitched on 32 count. That's all it says. It doesn't tell me how big it is, but I love that flag with the quilty star. So fun. Okay. Sweet Land of Liberty. This is a great Blackbird book. This is the one that you see right there? We finished that pillow, and that's the only one I've done out of this box. I would love to stitch all of those. United We Stand is another great Blackbird book. It's got that beautiful eagle finish. Look, the scissor one, and then this one is in there too. So fun. United We Stand. So 3 patterns. So those are the 3 patterns. The movement on that flag is fantastic as well. But I love this eagle. You don't see a lot of eagles, but I love this mattress finish. And there's stitching to go all the way around too. It's a mattress finish. This is the one I almost started this week. If I had finished American Sampler early enough, and I thought I could whip her up real quick. This one is Lady Liberty, Blackbird Designs. I'm pretty sure all these Blackbirds are current, but if they're out of print, my apologies. And then I do have a couple things that I've printed off. I used to be a part of Teresa Kogut's Patreon. It's been a couple years, but if I used to print them out as well, just because if I didn't print them, I would never find them. So this was from her May of 2023. Now, most of the times, if she'll either release them later, so this is 23, it might be out for wide release now, or you can go and shop her Patreon group. So if it's something that really calls to you, like that eagle, love. And that's why I printed this. I don't know if I would do the pledge of I don't know. So sweet. But it's big in true Teresa fashion, 128 by 185. So fabulous. This was so cute. Look at this patriotic tweet. This was from that same year. So it must have been a whole bundle. That is such a sweet, I love just the little quilty stars in the basket. Just enough to, give you some fun. And then this one, I thought these would be so cute. Just to do the little man and the little, kind of like, it reminds me of Not Forgotten Farm. She's got these Uncle Sam, these little critters. I mean, they're critters, they're people. These little people that are just little tiny pillow finishes. But that's what these little Teresa people remind me of. Those would be just so sweet. I think I wanted to stitch just that house. How cute of a pillow finish would that be? Yet the rest of it could be great too. But I love just this house with the eagle and his little flag body. That would be such a sweet little pillow all by itself. Oh, and the bunting. I'm a sucker for bunting on the windows. Anyway, so that is my Patriotic chart. Now I did pull out one. It is somewhere on the table. We'll find it when we dig around. But that's what is still in my Patriotic chart box. All right, friends, so what else did I work on this week? Are you ready? If you're a member of my Patreon, you saw that I shared this on Sunday. So this past weekend, last Friday, I showed you guys a finished stitch. It was part of the Fox and Rabbit Mystery Sal. It was this beautiful pink flower motify thing. It's very technical. And I had grandeur plans of finishing it a certain way. Well, sure, it would look great hanging up in my studio. I'm a big fan of doing, but I also love to make functional items with stitching. So I did. So this past weekend, I went digging into I'm a huge collector of fabric, right? Tilda and Tula are my favorite. And so with those 2 brands, I keep every scrap. Like if it's bigger than 2 inches, I keep the scrap. And so I have quite a couple scrap drawers, yes, I keep them separated, a Tula scrap bucket and a Tilda scrap bucket. So I went digging into my Tilda scrap bucket. I felt like the motif lent more Tilda than Tula this time. It happens. And so what I did is I just kept pulling out pink and pink and pink and pink. I pulled out so many Tilda pink scraps. And because I didn't really have, that's what's the look I was going for. So I shared a picture on Instagram of my motif with all of my scraps. And then the next day, I shared with you guys what I did with it. Are you ready? Okay, so hold on. I made a bag. Yes, I'm so excited. Okay, so if you don't know, this is my Queen Takes Center Stage large size bag. So this is a class. It's still available as a PDF right now. I will link it down below. It's this Queen Take. That's how she got her name, the Queen. So this is the medium and this is the large size. You can see she's just a little larger. But instead of using fabric as the center motif, I used this stitching as the center motif. So this was a stitch, like I said, from the 2023 Fox and Rabbit Sal. I used a Mose silk. It's on LFA Ada, either 18 count or 20 count. It's a tiny little count. But I just love how much it turned out. Now, I didn't finish the Sal. I was a Sal failure. But this was the January. This was 1 month of stitching. That's a lot of stitching. But I finished her and I love it. And then what I did, like I said, this is all just pink, scrappy tilde. So this, I used my crumb bag technique. This was another different class I taught using like a crumb bag, but I did it on the straight lines instead of being on the diagonal. So it's just, you just kind of like sew and fold and open and press and fold and fold. It's not that hard. It's really, really. But just to make this scrappy, fun panel, because like I said, if it's a tilde or a tulle scrap, I keep it. And this is why, because how fun is this? And so instead of adding the handle on the side, I went ahead and added this handles on the top. Everything else is exactly to pattern. It's got the double wide zip. It's just got a pink and white stripe ticking fabric on the inside. All the seams are bound off, so there's no exposed seams. And you will see it's a gusseted bag, but it's not a box pleat. It's my origami style pattern. That's what we're going to work on in class. So you can grab the PDF if you want to learn how to make this bag. Or, so I just love it. I love it so much. It'll be great. So in this one, I probably have half a dozen. How can I show you? See these little half charts? There's, I don't know. And then there's my hoops. So this is just like a grab and go bag. I don't grab and go anywhere but to the couch right now, but it is a grab and go. So it's got, like I said, I think 6 of these size charts in here with hoops and kits and stitches and things. It's just perfect. It's made with foam. I just love it. But this one's big enough where I could make it, would it hold a full size? I don't know. It sure does. Okay, friends, so you ready? Of course, I didn't pick a full-size pattern. I picked, so the larger size, here it is, right? And what did I just shove in there? I just shoved in there the full-size magazine from Punch that just came in the mail. This was also stitchy mail that came. The Punch Needle and Primitives Spring Magazine, Summer Magazine. Super fun. But it fits in the large size. So you could use this as a full-size pattern, like one of those Blackbird books. Oh, maybe I need to make a Christmas one. Oh my gosh, I need to make a Christmas in July one, although I have my Christmas keeper, which we're going to go through next. But it's just so fun to be able to put everything in this kind of 3-dimensional bag. I'm kind of digging it because it will hold my hoops and my glasses and a little notions pouch that's got my scissors and everything. And it's just a little more forgiving with the gusseted bottom, and now it's got handles. Oh, I totally need a Christmas in July one like yesterday. Okay, I know what I'm doing this weekend. Making another one. But this is the one I've done so far. Now my mom, like within 30 seconds of me showing it on Patreon, my mom was like, oh yeah, so I want it. So this one won't live with me for very long because there's not many things my mama wants, but when she wants it, I'm going to give it to her. So I don't know what she's going to put in it because I've tried to get her to knit. I've tried to get her to stitch, but neither one of them are sticking. She does painting, so can't really put your painting supplies in here, but I don't know what she's going to put in it, but she wants it, so I'm going to give it to her. But I had to show it to you first. So it's just something to think about when you're when you're stitching on something. And yes, we could all use another pillow in our dough bowl, but maybe you want to stitch something real quick and make it into or maybe it's a UFO. If you want to UFO something and it doesn't make sense for it to be a pillow, just give it its due and put it as a feature panel. Anyway, friends, so I worked on that this past weekend. So fun. Okay, so now we're going to jump into Christmas in July. So we're going to stay stitching, and then we'll zig and zag into some other little making situations. But as I mentioned, I'm going to do Christmas in July again. I love Christmas. I wish I could do it all year round, but then I get just caught up in doing other things. And I want to do big samplers and all the things. But I love a good goal, a purpose. A lot of my friends are stitching Christmas in July, so super fun. I am all for it. So what I did when I finished the American Sampler is I just went to my project library right there and I pulled out this. You can see it's jam-packed. This was my Christmas keeper from last Advent. So if you don't know, I do a 12 days of Stitchmas video series here on YouTube. So it's super fun where I come here and do daily videos and share with you guys all the things. But I also, Tiger Lily does an Advent box. Now I'll have a Tiger Lily a full shop update at the end of this video because boy, do I have a ton to share with you guys. Totally forgot I was going to tell you that. At the end, we'll talk about that. But I just wanted to let, this is from the Advent. There are still some Advent boxes, just a few, but the link is down below. But so I went and I grabbed my Advent keeper, which last year during the 12 days of Stitchmas, what I had done is I had fully kitted up 12 new stitchy projects. So every day during the 12 days of Stitchmas last year, I had a new start and I loved that. First of all, because all the work was pre-done for me. I am a super fan of all the work being pre-done, pre-planning, pre-work, so then you don't have to think when you're in the moment. So fun. I need to do better about pre-planning so that I can just start the stitching. That was so awesome. And so in this is what's left. Now, if you don't know, I did finish a couple things. Let's see. Can I show you them quickly? This is my needs to be fit. This is like my under the bed box, but it's not under the bed. It's on the shelf over here. So these are just pieces that are ironed, that are ready to go, like Henny Penny. I showed you guys that last one. Hold on. I'm trying to get to the Christmas. This is from Annie the Proper Stitcher. It was from the Flamingo box. So sweet. Oh, there's some ornaments. I can't remember if that was a start from last Christmas. This was one of my 12 days of Stitchmas. Santa with the gingerbread. Oh, this one was too. This is the Plum Street Woolly. I need to finish. I need to have a finishing day. This one was too. Brenda Gervais. And then there's Mount Vernon at Christmas. Okay. Anyway, so what's in that keeper are the finishes that I didn't finish last year during the 12 days of Stitchmas. So in theory, there should be like 6 of them or so. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I just went and grabbed that keeper and then went over to the couch one night. And so I pulled one out. I pulled the one that I thought was close enough that, could I get a finish for this week? I didn't. I didn't, but I could have. Maybe next week. We shall see. Although I've stitched on her for 3 days, so I might be zigging and zagging. But this is Cardinal Kin by Plum Street Samplers. You've all seen this. Lots of very popular Christmas chart. You will see I'm stitching mine on 40 count Desert Taipan by Fox and Rabbit. I am not using the called for colors. I did a full Tiger Lily floss conversion. And what's unique about this conversion, and I'd love to share this with you guys, is, first of all, look at this cute little tag. This is from As the Yo Flies. I love her little floss bling. You know, you can get the little silvery, this is just a different twist on the floss bling. I love it. It's double stitched, super great. I will link. She has an Etsy shop. She's one of the small businesses I featured a couple years ago. Love her cute stuff. Okay. And it's all Christmas, so fun. Okay, so with the Cardinal Kin, when I kitted this up, like I said, I kitted this up all before the 12 days of Stitchmas, and I'm totally have to do that again this year. But rather than the called for, listen, it's, you know, a red, a brown, a green, a berry, a whatever, right? So, but what I did, I love Leanne from Forbidden Fiber Co. I've converted a lot of my different charts to her floss. She's a beautiful over-dyed cotton dyer. She's a yarn dyer by I think First Trade or whatever, but she does floss as well. She's in Tennessee, small business, beautiful. I did a pumpkin house, and I don't have it, but I did a full floss conversion for a pumpkin house twist. One of Liz Matthews's charts from a while ago. Well, I'm almost done with it, but I'm not. But if you had gotten that conversion and you stitched it, great. Or if you've gotten that conversion from Leanne and you haven't finished it yet, but you still have the floss, this is a great chart for you. I love to be able to pull like the exact same floss pack. It's not the exact same, but it's all the flosses that are in that pack. So you get to use them again. See, sometimes when you kit things up and then it just goes in your stash, I feel like some of those floss just like live in your stash forever. Well, this is the pumpkin house kit. This is all these floss were in the pumpkin house conversion that I did. So if you have that conversion, you have these floss. And then the only thing I had to add was a red. Now, Buckeye Scarlet is a beautiful red. Cayenne is a beautiful red. You can pull red. My guess is, I feel very confident, friends, that in your stash of floss, of Color and Cotton, of Classic Color Works, of Gentle Arts, of Weeks, of DMC, you will have a beautiful, beautiful red that you can correlate with the rest of the conversion. And what I did, look at this brown. First of all, you know, the female Cardinal, she gets gypped because she's brown. But this brown, it's not brown, but you know, is called driftwood. And I wish I could get a female Cardinal to just sit on my bird feeder. Don't move. Does this match? Because in my opinion, this color is a perfect match for the actual female Cardinal in said nature. And because it's got so much movement and variegation, and as I said, nature is not a solid color. I love it so much. Anyway, so I'm pretty excited about my conversion is the moral of the story. And then there's a green, and then there's the berries and all the things, but it's super, super fun. So this one's real close to a finish. Like I said, a couple nights or one or two, maybe more, I could get it done. The problem is it's 40 count. And if you've been around for a while, you know that 40 count isn't exactly my favorite. I feel like I'm much faster on 36. I use the sewing method with the hoop. Hoop and a sewing method is how I stitch. I'm not up and down. Anyway, so I feel like 40 count is just tight enough where I'm like fighting to get 4 threads through that one hole. Anyway, moral of the story. That was one that's in there, but want to see what else is in the keeper just for some fun other Christmas in July. Let's look real quick, right? Okay. So in here, this is the peppermint and pine. And I showed you guys that this cardinal I finished during the 12 days of Stitchmas. Well, I'm not going to just do the cardinal. I have to do this guy and this. I have to do them both. They're so adorable. So I have this partially, looks like it was mostly kitted up for the cardinal because, you know, the red and the green and stuff, and that's how I kitted it up. But I just have to pull, that cardinal brownie color would be perfect for this owl's wings. So cute. So I would love to stitch up that and have a little set of 3. What else is in here? As you said, all of these things, this is like a clown car. My keepers are like clown cars, so I'm just going to keep pulling things out. So also in there is the, what's this called? Early Christmas Morning. So this is a blackbird. We've all seen it. I worked on it a little bit, maybe. Here's the long piece because it's a drum or a mattress finish, not a drum, but I mean, it's kind of a drum. It's round. I don't know. Don't have a very big start on that. Like I said, this was just one night, one day during the 12 days of Stitchmas. So that one wasn't a contender for pick it up and finish it real quick but maybe this month. And then, this is another good one. This one, Cranberry Christmas. So I love to keep them when I'm using my keeper with multiple projects. I just keep everything in here, and then I have all the things I need. Like I said, but I am going to make one of those large bags with the handles. Okay, so this is a hot disheveled mess. I did not iron, my apologies. But this is Cranberry Christmas. This is as far as I got. One night of stitching during 12 days of Stitchmas. That's upside down. So sweet. This is a big one. This is 185 by 116. But it's really sweet. There's a lot of dead space. Blank space, dead space, whatever. But I have it all in there with, let me see, my tracker card. What did I stitch that on? 36 count, one more reproduction. That's what that one was. So that one is in there ready to go. And then what else do I have? So in the back of the keeper, of the clown car keeper, is also, this is one of the bags that was part of the Advent as well. It was a tortoise. Anyway, this is in the back pocket of the keeper. What's in here? I haven't looked at any of this. I basically pulled out Cardinal Kin this week and was just like, yep, this one's in. Well, what is it? Oh. I mean, everybody know what it is? Sure do. It's the gingerbread house from Stacy Nash. I finished the front. My white is ghosty because I did mine on Lakeside Straw Flower. So bad choice by me, but wasn't going to go back. My back is not done. It's close, but so that's what's in here with the floss and the chart and the pattern. Yep, there it all is. So that's a project bag inside a project bag. Okay. And then last but not least is the home for the holidays. Now, this is my next goal. I think this is what I'm going to do next for Christmas in July. I love these ornaments, these little stocking. And first of all, I love the bird. Don't have the bird done. I don't think I've stitched anything from this book. Let's see if I can show you a picture. Like, oh, you know, beautiful. Oh, that would say, but it's so big. So that one will not be a 1 month start and finish. But I do want to show you. Can I show you? So like, there's a set of these ornaments. Well, there's one. And here's two. Right? They're just so sweet. And there's three. I'm going to guess four. And then four. No, I'm going to guess five. And then five. So there's 5 ornaments. And so, yes, you could stitch them all with the alphabets, you know, A, B, C, the alphabet, spread out amongst them. Or I've seen someone, now who it was, I don't remember. I wish I did. I should have written it down. I don't remember, but I think someone, instead of putting alphabets on those 5 stockings, personalized it. And not made them like stockings, like, let's put your treat in the stocking, but just personalized them with the names of their family on the tree. I haven't decided what I'm going to do, whether I'm just going to do the alphabet, which, you know, is very simpler, it's very cross-stitchy, whatever, or if I'm going to 5. I'm not quite sure how what 5 would be. I'd have to think about it. But I have it kitted up. I have all the accoutrement that I need. I have pulled a 36 count color and cotton. I have no idea what color it is. It's called Sugar Cookie. Oh, of course it is, because that's very, you know, cookie Christmas-like. And then I went and I pulled Treenway Silks. And I do have some of these in my shop as well, but I just wanted to, I think these are charted in 2 or 3 different reds. But instead of doing that, I just pulled an overdyed silk. Treenway Silk is gorgeous. And I'm going to stitch them all monochromatic. And you're going to get the movement with the hand dyedness of the silk, and then I don't have to change my thread. And what I love to do when I'm doing a monochromatic stitch, and I've showed you guys this trick before, but this is also in my little kit, in my little keeper clown car, is I love to use these little tins. Now this one's from Sweet Autumn Stitch. I will link her down below. She's got an Etsy shop, super great small business. I think I have a whole bunch, like a whole collection with this vintage tin, but it's just one of those Altoid tins. It's not an Altoid, but you know. But this, oh, yep. So this is what I love to do. So you can see, like I said, she's got a whole collection. So I just put one of those hanks of the Treenway Silks on one of her floss drop cards, which are fantastic cards, by the way. And then I put it in here. And then what I did is I added 2 magnets to the top. Sorry to blind you if I'm blinding you, but I just added 2 magnets. And then I've got, looks like 6 needles. So what I go ahead and do is I just keep, this is kind of like my thread keep, but not in a thread keep, is I will go ahead and thread up 6 needles. So, and then keep it all in here. It's all handy. This is my extra ready to go. So then I don't have to, I can just keep on going. Just, I can work through 6 needles of floss. I feel like I do go faster. I don't know. Like again, it's back to setting myself up. Anyway, that is what's in my Christmas in July keeper. One last thing in the world of stitching, and then we're going to zig and zag to some other making as well as the Tiger Lily shop update. So I did get some stitchy kindness / haul this week that I wanted to share with you. Now, you know my sweet friend Shelly from Antique Needleworkers. You know that she's designing. She started a new series in the spring. I think this is the first one. So she just sent me her the most recent charts, and I wanted to share with you in case you hadn't seen. So it's a Biscornu. I have never done a Biscornu, and I'm so excited that Shelly's is going to be my first Biscornu. So this is the spring Biscornu. So sweet. Now, first of all, love that. Now her favorite color is blue, so of course it's blue. What color do you think mine's going to be? So this is the top and this is the bottom. This looks like it will stitch up so quick. I can hardly believe it. It measures 65 by 66. You do both sides. And I'm pretty sure she gives you, yes, she's got crazy good instructions that are showing you how to do the Biscornu. Can't show it to you, but it's a whole page of step by step. So you can grab this on Shelly's website. I will link it down below, but you don't have to do it in blue. I mean, I love it, but mine's going to be pink. Surprise. I know Shelly's not surprised that mine's going to be pink. But then the next one, the one that just came out, is Summer Biscornu. And this one she has on her website as well. But you can get the full kit too. So you could get the pins. These are beautiful Jersey Girl Stitch Co pins, which I love. And then, so she has the kit option of either DMC or the Soie d'Alger. So if you've ever wanted to try Soie d'Alger silks, this might be a fun little way to try it because it's only 7 colors. Or you can just get the DMCs, or you can pull from stash because it's really not that much floss. Again, it's 65 by 65, so a tiny little thing, and you're going to stitch it up real quick and there's the top and the bottom. And she tells me these things go together real quick. Again, the instructions are right there. Beautiful. So this is the Summer Biscornu. Surprise, surprise. There's going to be a fall and a winter. This is her Biscornu series, and I love them so much. So I'm hoping, I'm probably going to do this one because it's 2 colors. Like I can kit this one up yesterday. Just do a pink and a green. Sure. So great. So I will probably just pick a pink that has super variegation on it and stitch that up lickety split. How fun will that be? So that is the fun stitching. Now what we're going to do now is I'm going to dive into a little bit of, well, I'm just going to pull it out right here. We'll just talk about it. I don't need to tell you what it is. This is what it is. This is one of my stitching, my sewing baskets, my vintage. I love the ones with the handles. So this is one of my sewing baskets, and inside said sewing basket, again, Christmas in July, right, friends? So I decided, remember I'm gonna dabble into some other making. And so I've dabbled a little bit, and I wanted to dabble, I'm just gonna show it to you. Wool applique. No, of course, I stopped mid. Let me just go ahead and move that over the way so it's not in the way. So this is, when I was at in Amana 18 months ago, Shelly and I went to the Little Red Hen. Super cute, fantastic quilt shop, wool applique shop, cross stitch shop, all the shops, but I had never dabbled in wool applique. Well, I jumped right into the deep end and bought half a dozen or a dozen, I don't remember, and it was from Farm Girl Dry Goods, Michelle Rudy. Also, so I bought, over here is a whole shelf of wool applique that I purchased on that trip. But then I came home and I started it, and then I put it on the shelf because I was like, nope, can't do it. Well, I decided, no, I'm going to do it. And oh, Christmas, this is the one I had started a year plus ago, but I hadn't gotten very far. All I had done was cut out all the pieces. Well, this past week, look, I'll show you my back. I have no idea. I'm probably doing it all wrong. This is my back, but that's not the exciting. This is my front. So my wool applique, I'm learning to do the black. Like I said, I had all the pieces cut out. I love them. And they were attached using the freezer paper method. Again, just I'm learning a new craft. I love learning new stuff. And so this past time, I just worked on the blanket stitches. Now, I could probably, if I took time, I could figure out, I got better as I went around. One tree, whichever tree was my first tree, those blanket stitches are garbage. But I left them there. It's not perfection, it's the process. And so as I went around with every tree and every tree branch, my blanket stitches got a little bit better and a little bit better. And right now I'm super happy about them. I've got my stars in, and just last night, you add this little, I don't know, it's Viney connection blanket stitch. Again, this is my first one, so those blanket stitches, those long stitches are probably garbage, but hopefully by the time I get around and I add the little red berries, it's going to be adorable. So it will look like this one day when it grows up. There's more felt to put on the back, and I'm going to blanket stitch that, and that's going to be great, and it comes with buttons. But I just think it's so fun. So like I said, I have a dozen kits or so. They're almost all Christmas themed. A lot of them are. And so I thought it would just be super fun this month to not only do Christmas stitching, but to do Christmas making in all the genres I love to make. Like, I'm going to make one of those Christmas bags. Sure am. I know the exact fabric I'm going to use, and I might play hooky for the rest of the day and do that, although that doesn't seem very 4th of July-ish, but that's okay. And then I might make a Christmas quilt. I don't know. We shall see. All the things. So that is Christmas. And then some other haul that came in. I just love to show you because you guys love eye candy. You know, I'm knitting. I worked on the sock, but not enough to show you guys this. But I wanted to show you the new yarn haul I got from Stitching with Yarn. This is Christine in Oklahoma. These socks are fantastic. It's going to be a red and white stripe. And then this looks like speckles, look like stars. So this was a super cute. I'll probably maybe wind that up and cast it on today. Although I want to have a new start. And then while I was there, you know, I couldn't travel alone. This was a bundle called Sea Glass. This was a micro sock set, which I do love. So this one's only 50 grams, and then the coordinating color. So that will make a cute little sock. And then last but not least, I'll take this one out of the bag. As I've told you guys before, I'm in the Freckled Whimsy sock club. So this is, I'm guessing June's. It's got to be June, right? Puddle Jumping. It's July. Just kidding. This is July's. It's called Puddle Jumping. It's self-striping. I'm a sucker for self-striping. Vanilla sock knitting is my comfort level. I love the beauty of a complicated sock pattern. It's something that I don't have to complicate. Of a sock pattern, what you have to read and count and think about. But why I'm drawn to sock knitting is the simplicity, the mindless, the turn your brain offness of vanilla socks. And so with the self-striping, you get the bang for your buck, but you still get the mindless, turn your brain off, just go round and round. So again, I love Freckled Whimsy's sock club. It's not always open. I will link her website down below. Just get on her newsletter or her club notification. She'll send you an email saying some spots are open up. You have to act really fast if you want to get in that club. So as I peruse the table, that is it. That is my stitching, my knitting, my haul, my making, all the things. Now we're going to dive right into, I have a pretty extensive Tiger Lily shop update. I have launched what I'm calling the Clear the Shelves Summer Sale, and we're going to talk about it. But if that is not your jam, no worries. I will see you next time. I would love for you to like and subscribe to my channel, like the video, subscribe, stick around, join the fun. I hope to see you next time. I will be back next Friday and let you know what I've been up to in this last week, right? In this next coming up week. But if you want to know what's coming up, what I just dropped on the Tiger Lily website, it's a bundle of goodies. Stay tuned. Okay, friends, as I mentioned, I have just launched this week the Clear the Shelves Summer Sale. I do one of these sales about 3 times a year, usually Black Friday, sometimes in January or February, kind of like a winter destash, and then I'm going to do a summer destash because right now on the weekly, I am getting huge boxes that are coming in for the Advent. If you don't know, I do a 12 Days of Stitchmas Advent, and it's a box, and I curate products from 11 other small businesses, and they are all coming in this summer, meaning I'm getting huge boxes from these small businesses, which is fabulous, except for the fact that all of my shelving, which is in the room behind me, my storage room, is now overflowing. It is jam-packed, and I don't have a place to put all these boxes because I'm not shutting out the Advents until November, right? So I need to clear the shelves. Hence, that's just a literal term. I need to clear the shelves. So with that, what I have got for you guys is a smorgasbord of goodness. There is variety. There is something for everybody. We're going to start first off with some project bags. Now these, I had to sell these up because they were supposed to be in my last drop, but time got away from me. They didn't happen up. But this week I got them stitched up, sewn up, and put together to be included in this sale because I thought it would be super fun. And there's still a handful left. Now, if you don't know, I always give early access to my Patreon, meaning a lot of the stuff I don't even have to show you anymore because it's sold out. The sale dropped sometime Tuesday, Wednesday. Whenever it was, I always give my Patreon members early access, first dibs on my sales. And so, like I said, a lot of the stuff is gone, but this is what's left as of right now. So some of the items that are left are my Sue Bonnet quilting bags. Now, if you don't know, these I love Sue Bonnets, right? I showed you guys my Patriotic Sue Bonnet earlier. But I have probably 3 or 4 different Sue Bonnet quilts that I have found or that have been gifted to me. Some I'm going to save and I will not cut up, but some of them I view as cutter quilts because they just aren't going to live their best life as is, but instead I want to repurpose them and give them a new life for the stitcher who will love them. So I do have a handful of them left. They're all completely unique and one of a kind because, again, these were quilt blocks. This was a big old cutter. This was a big quilt in its first life. And I cut it up and made a handful of Sue Bonnet one-of-a-kind projects bags. They're all framed in this patchwork of Lori Holt mercantile fabric. Always have a large chunky zipper. It's my favorite. They have Lori Holt, no exposed seams. Everything is there. And then the backs are all the same. This beautiful, again, Lori Holt, it kind of just ties together kind of fabric. So there's a handful of the Sue Bonnets left on the sale. So that is the only project bags that are left. I just wanted to show you guys that first. The next section is going to be in the D-stash section of my website. Now I will link everything down below, but what you need to do is if you go to my tigerlilyshop.com, there's a couple different categories of where you can shop. So you go up to the top button and it will say shop, and you go down to project keepers. That's where the project bags are. If you go down to the D-Stash Kits and Fun, that's where everything else is because it's really just like the everything else box, the everything else category. So first, what I have is quilting fabric. Now, as I've been telling you guys, I like to audition fabrics with fat quarter bundles. That sometimes means that I'm buying 2 or 3 of them hey, that's just the minimums I have to do. But then they don't make the cut. They're not going to become keepers, or they're not going to become something I'm going to sew with as Tiger Lily. So I have accumulated quite a collection of fat quarter bundles, and what I need to do is clear the shelves, and I've priced them great deals, slash prices, just to get them off the shelves. So some of the ones that are left, let me share them to you. I have 3 Liberty of London. I love Liberty of London fabric. If you don't know, you know there's been a couple different keeper clubs that have been in Liberty of London. And I had high hopes for these collections, but they're not going to make the cut. So that means they're ready for you. Not because I don't love them, but for whatever reason. I've always, oh, listen, I kept one of everything I'm showing you because I'm going to make something personally. But this is the Liberty of London Festive Flare. So it's their most current Christmas collection. Beautiful. Now, I'm not going to go through all the facts with you. We would be here for days, but I am just going to show you some of them, and some of them are still wrapped in practice, and so I'm not going to even open them. But if you love Liberty of London, if you love florals, if you love some of the things I'm talking about, your best guess is to just go to the website. It's got pictures of all the fabrics. So that's what I would suggest you do. There's 2 other Tree of Life collections. So there's the Liberty of London Canopy Greens. So it's a collection of these beautiful greens and florals. Again, just gorgeous. And then Berry Botanicals. Beautiful collection of Liberty of London Berry Botanicals. So those are still on the site. Next, I have curated custom bundles. And so what that means is sometimes I buy bolts of fabric, right? So if I use it for a keeper, or I used it when I was making individual keepers, when I was upcycling vintage, I would have bolts of fabric. Well, so now bolts take up room. I need the space. So I'm cutting into my bolts and creating custom curated fat quarter bundles at a fraction of the cost. And so what I have, let me just show you. These are 3 that I went and grabbed just so you could see. So I have a Patriotic bundle. So this is just, so that's Liberty of London. That's Liberty of London. And then there's some other, it's just red, white, and blue. I think it's a 6 fat quarter. I packaged them up for you. Great price. This is the Poppies and Plumes. This was the herringbone bag kit. I don't have that, but we did this kit back in April of 2024. So I just had some extra bolts of that. So I made a 4 fat quarter bundle of that. This is going to be a Christmas one. So there's, again, it's 6 Christmas fabrics, all high quality. None of this is big box store. This is all Riley Blake, Liberty of London, Tilda, Moda, Free Spirit. These are all high quality quilt cottons that are hand cut into a fat quarter bundle. And so you could use these for pillow finishing. You could use these to make project bags. You could use these to do whatever you want. Make a little patriotic quilt, table runner, whatever. The sky's the limit. The last but not least, I did cut into my Tula Pink bolts because I have some. It's an 8 fat quarter bundle of Tula Pink. It comes from at least 3 different lines. Untamed, Daydreamer, True Colors, Curiouser and Curiouser. I mean, so many of the Tilda paint or Tula. Tilda is sold out. I had Tilda as well. Those are all sold out. But the Tula bundles, there's 8 fabrics, custom curated, cut, ready to go at a steal of a deal. So those are in there as well. What else? Okay, so more fabric for days. Art Gallery Fabrics is one of my favorite companies to use. Their fabric is gorgeous. I love it. I love their curated collections. I'm trying to think when the last one, well, the Christmas Keeper, that angel, that was from Art Gallery. Gorgeous fabric. So I have, again, I'm not going to open them up, but just an assortment package of fat quarter bundles from Art Gallery. This is Kindred. It's this beautiful pinks and blues and creams. This one's called Bookish. It's really fun. I almost kept this just to make something for Lily because she's a super booky. So because a couple of the fabrics have these like books on them. This is a beautiful kind of autumnally oranges and blues. It's called Heirloom. Oh, I love this one. This was almost the April Keeper, friends, but as you know now, I've let it go. This is called Abode. It's by Maureen Crackwell. It's got some beautiful florals in it. I love this one. If you're looking for Year in Petals, this is by Bonnie and Christine. Beautiful, just creamies and neutrals and florals. Again, all of their bundles are curated to go together, so it's kind of like a quilt in a box. If you just go and look for a fat quarter friendly quilt pattern and grab one of these bundles and you're ready to go. This, I almost kept all of them because but I need to clear the shelves. This is a Halloween bundle and it is super fun. It's called Eerie by Katrina Russ Kelly. This is the same person that did it's just some beautiful fabric. Really, really fun, kind of dark and gothy dark and whimsy dark. I don't know, but it's beautiful. So there's a couple of those Halloween bundles on there as well. Also in the sale coming off the shelves is 36 count linen. When I was at market this year, I bundled up, I procured a whole bunch of beautiful hand-dyed linens with the intention of doing a linen sale, but life got crazy and here we are doing the linen sale now. So there are still some pieces. That one definitely sold quickly once Patreon got a hold of that, but I wanted to show you some of the Dames of the Needle, this beautiful brown. It's called Dried Virginia Backy, like tobacco. Forbidden Fiber Co. There's a couple different, look at that beautiful strawberry pink, strawberry cheesecake, white chocolate, gorgeous colors. There's also Fiber on a Whim and Wheat, which is this gorgeous neutral. They're all packaged, fat quarters, needle bling designs, marshmallow fluff, Dames of the Needle, all the things. Like I said, it's a flat rate shipping, so put one thing, put 10 things in your cart. Go ahead and check it out. I also forgot to mention that I finally restocked. After many, many requests, I was able to restock the Project Tracker card bundle. So this is the vintage sewing one where you're going to get 12, a dozen of each of the color covers. It's just super fun. I have one of these in every single one of my project bags, but I have restocked the set of 48, 4 designs, 1 dozen of each card. We're getting towards the end, friends. Don't worry. I did I had a handful of these left over from StitchCon. And so this is a Primitives by Kathy, just a super sweet notebook with the crocheted flower, as well as one of my hand done little friends bling is on there. So there's some of those on there to grab, as well as I had gotten these. It's the Lori Holt Sue Bonnet. So if you grab yourself a Sue Bonnet bag, grab yourself an enamel charm to be your zipper pull. How sweet is that? I do have 2 abandoned whips. Do I want to show you guys these? Probably, yes. Okay, so this is an abandoned whip. I'm just put them on the website. If they don't sell, then that's fine. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with them later. But it was just... This one is from the Queen City Sampler. This is from the exclusive retreat I went to last spring with Nicola. It's Margaret Hutton. It's the chart, the bag, the bling, all the Soie d'Alger. It's kitted up in Soie d'Alger. I don't remember how many, but whatever it is, it's the full kit. As well as, like I said, this is an abandoned whip, so you are getting my measly start, but I started it. So this is a 36 count, whatever came with the kit, but it's enough for the progress. Margaret Hutton is a chart that you can't get. It's got all these different specialty stitches. The book includes directions on how to do all the specialty stitches. Super fun. So that's a full kit abandoned whip that's on the website as well. And then last but not least is another one of my abandoned kits that I have kind of all kitted up, ready to go. I'm just letting it go. It's Miss Lucy Cowcut. This was been around for a while. I'm not reaching for it anymore, so I'm hoping that she'll go to someone who will enjoy stitching her. It's a beautiful chart with a zillion DMCs, that many, okay? It's 281 by 380, so she is a big girl. Now this is an abandoned whip, but I got a lot of work on, so I almost just cut her up and repurposed her, but I was like, no, Maybe. I'll try this way first. This is a piece of LFA linen. Let me see my project tracker card. It's not linen. It's LFA 18 count covered bridge is what this is. It measures 19.5 by 25. So it's a big old piece. What you need for the 18 count, I'm doing one strand over one because it's Aida. So you're going to get my whip. You're going to get the linen. You're going to, or the Aida, the chart, as well as you're going to get a floss keeper. This is my floss keeper with all the DMC. It is bobbinated. So if you don't bobbinate, my apologies, but it is bobbinated DMC, all the colors you need, as well as this pretty color chart. So that is an abandoned whip that's also part of my Clear the Shelves sale. Last but not least in the sale, there are the things that are always there that are just not gone yet. Life's a Stitch tin. This is those Altoid tins. Great for retreat table mate gifts. You can buy one. You could buy a 6-pack. I think I have them in bundles of 6 for like a table, like at a great deal. The same thing with the Jotter pens. These were my fun pens that were in the Advent 2 years ago. It says happiness is handmade, stitching is my superpower, and life's a stitch. Super cute collection of pens, also individually or a package of 6 as a table mate. Add to your little table mate gifts. The Crown Family Sampler was my first chart that was included in the July Keeper Club last year. It's half price chart, as well as the Treenway silks that you can use to stitch this, or like I'm stitching, any other monochromatic red. It's a great bundle, half price silks if you've ever wanted to try Treenway. And last but not least, for every purchase over $100, I am throwing in, these were note cards, custom made. There's a set of 3 in there. They're handmade. Artwork from my family. So this was in the July Keeper Club of 2023. So I have a bundle of those left. So I've packaged them up and just made them into little thank you note cards to send to your friends. Okay, friends, that is it for real. That is the deal with the Clear the Shelves summer sale. Once it's gone, it's gone. Again, I probably won't do another sale like this until Black Friday. At Black Friday, I will be bundling up some of the things that I have extra that were in the Advent from last year, probably. There's only a handful. I don't like to overbuy. I do, like I said, I do still have some of the Advent boxes for 2025 are still available, but they are slowly creeping out to not any left. So if you've been on the fence about getting yourself an Advent for this year, if you've been thinking about it, that's a great way to grab a keeper. It's a great way to support 11 other small businesses, because that's all my Advent box is small businesses. I love it. It's my favorite box that I do. But that's linked down below. Okay, I think that's it. Anyway, so until next time, friends, happy stitching, happy 4th of July. Have a great week. Enjoy your family, enjoy your stitching. I'll see you next time.